What's up, guys? Um, Once again, this was an unplanned live stream. I don't even know if anybody show up. I just want this on record. Want it to be on YouTube so you guys can come back and check it out at a later date, whenever you get off work or whatever it is you got going on. Looks like we got one in here. I don't know who that is. Might be, uh, the person I just talked to. But I just want to let you guys know I did a video last night about a thief and a scammer in our community. Many of you know him. This goes back 2 or 3 years now. What's up, Gonna Rye? Tim Morgan is back. What's up, Pretty Fly? Tim Morgan is back, and he's already that I know of hit the community for about $1,000, and ripping people off. And something really strange happened this time, guys. I've never spoken to Tim Morgan like on the telephone or anything, just through Instagram messaging. And but during my little investigation and people flooding me with information on the people that scammed them, I got this. This is Officer of NAF's phone number. I'm not going to mention who I got it from because I don't have permission to do that. I don't want to, dox this guy or anything, but I got a phone number. And so today I decided, let's just call this phone number. Let's see who answers the phone. And to my surprise, Tim Morgan answered that phone. He answered that number, the one I just showed you. In case you missed it, it was it's this phone number right here. Because apparently he's had this number for 3 or 4 years now. He's held on to it. And yeah, Monster Racing 38 answered that phone number. So we had a little conversation, and Tim claims that he has not been part of the knife community for over 2 years. He left because of all the vicious lies that I made up about him, and hasn't been part of it since. He only owns one knife now. It's a Sin Cut, I think you said. So I said, Tim, so you're telling me that some new scammer got your information, your phone number, was given using your phone number to sell these high-end knives that they probably never had, never delivered, and they used your son's name and address. And he was like, yeah, that's what's happening here, man. Me and my son don't have anything to do with this. So you guys can imagine how easy to believe that is. But yeah, I mean, here's even the address that, not to dox anybody, but this is where the scammer had people mail him some gift knives because all his got stolen to this address right here. And this is Tim Morgan's son, Austin. That is his information right there, but they didn't do this. So guys, I just want y'all to know that somebody out there is impersonating Monster Racing 38's son and using his information to scam y'all, but it's not Tim. He wouldn't do that. He never did that to begin with. He left the knife community because of all the vicious lies that I made up about him. And and he even said that he knows I did that because I suffer with some mental health issues. So, that tells you that he's been around and he's been paying attention all along. I told you guys a long time ago, he's not going to leave. He's never going to leave. I even told him about Tim, dude. I wish I recorded the phone call, guys. I apologize that I didn't. But I was like, Tim, dude, just own it, man. You can laugh in my face right now because you win, because we can't stop you. There's no point in trying to deny it. Well, first of all, if you're going to deny something, why wouldn't you just, when you answer the phone, deny being Tim Morgan? But he didn't. He was like, yeah, this is Tim Morgan. This is Monster Racing 38. But just to clear it up, guys, it's not him that's scamming you. Somebody has assumed him and his son's identity and is trying to further ruin their name by taking people in the knife community's money. I even told her, like, well, congratulations, Tim, because you went from just being a lazy piece of shit that played on people's kindness to get free stuff so that you could sell it to committing wire fraud, dude. That's a pretty big jump. But yeah, no, I mean that settles it. That closes it. I guess it's not him because he said it's not. It's just some random person who somehow acquired his son's name and address and his Tim's personal phone number that he's had for years, and they use that information to rip you guys off. Um, I want to talk about that a little bit further, guys. I don't want to embarrass anyone, so I'm not going to mention any names or anything. But guys, y'all have got to stop being so gullible. This guy is selling you knives using stock photos that you can Google reverse image search and see that he just downloaded them off the internet. That should be a dead giveaway that it's a scam. Yeah, I mean, we live in a world, guys, where I just got a message a few days ago because of I'm not ashamed to admit, because of my algorithm and the things I look up on the internet, my Instagram, I get about 5 or 6 chicks a day. Hey, good looking, blah, blah, blah. And then the conversation starts and the broken English starts, and I can tell it's some sweaty little Indian dude in an office trying to sell me some nude pics of these young girls who really are the victim here, because I mean they were dumb enough to upload their nudes to the internet, but now these scammers are using their nudes to make money. But I even got one from one that's not real. That's an AI. It's an artificially created female. They can create any photo they want, and dude, they're nice. They're really nice. That's the world we live in, guys. Where and it's only going to get worse, where we don't know what's real and what's not. And I don't want to say that if you're buying these knives and losing money, you deserve to. That's not my point, because I know that you're being taken advantage of. But man, it's got to be on you guys to be more careful. You've got to investigate this stuff a little bit more. And if you can't 100% wholeheartedly feel confident that you're dealing with a real person and you're going to get your product, then you have to be in a situation where you're like, well, you know what, then I don't care if I set this money on fire, or I don't care if I send this knife off and I never get my trade in return. I'm okay with that. If you're not, then stop, guys. You have to stop doing this, because that's what that's what these people thrive on, and we shouldn't feel special, because we're not special. This guy is doing this across multiple communities. There's nice people in every one of these communities, and that's who they always end up getting. This time he wasn't playing. Well, he was playing on niceness too, because a couple of really nice guys in this community gave him knives. But he's also now taking advantage of people who just want a really good deal on a knife. You can't buy a $150 Hinder, guys. They don't exist. You can't buy a $150 Tempest. That shit don't exist. It's not real. You're throwing your money away. But I just couldn't stop laughing. I mean, I'm on the phone with the dude, and he's not denying it's him, but he's denying that it's him that's scamming you guys, and saying that clearly somebody is stealing him and his son's identity to pull this off. So it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, man. I just couldn't believe that he answered the fucking telephone. He answered it, admitted it was him, and Chris Shanks. I do love Slicey Dicey, dude. I love Slicey Dicey's reviews. Slicey Dicey was the best knife reviewer on Knife YouTube at the time. His live stream sucked, but he was a great knife reviewer. Just couldn't trust him, apparently. Yeah. What's Stevie saying? People see a good deal and pounce on it. They ignore the reasons so they can get a too good to be true price. You're right. That's exactly what happened here. And I know he was tugging at heartstrings there too. Yes, it's a good deal. Plus, he needs some money to feed his kid. Because the story was, in case you don't know, him and his partner, because this time he's a cop, officer in Naps. Him and his partner were jumped by two guys and beaten with baseball bats. So now he's going to be out of work for 10 days. I can tell you this right now. If I hit you one time with a baseball bat, you're going to be out of work more than 10 days. But yeah, he's going to be out of work. Guys, if cops get assaulted on the job, they don't miss a penny of their pay. So that in itself should have been enough of a red flag to think this guy's a fucking liar. But you know, people fell for it. People, felt sorry for the guy and tried to help him out. And it's sad that it's getting to a point where we're scared to help anybody. But that's just where we're going to have to be, guys, because Vince, Semper Fi DC guy, Vince is crazy as a June bug and a box fan, but he's smart enough to heavily research these charities before he decides to raise money for them. That's why they're so few and far between. It takes time to vet these places. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to vet these people, man. You can't, especially when you're saying, I got to get it shipped out tonight. Don't buy that shit. If he can't wait a day or two to sell you something, and of course, he's also going to tell you somebody else is going to get it. Let it go, man. You don't need, none of you people need another knife to begin with. None of you. So quit putting your neck out on the line and letting these people take advantage of you, man. Because you're feeding a monster that, while your loss of a couple $100 may not affect you that poorly, he may get somebody that it can be life changing when he fucks them over, and we're feeding that. We're enabling that behavior because we're promoting it. We're financially supporting this dude. I may call him back and do it live if he doesn't block my number, because he wants me to call him back. He wants me to get to the bottom of who stole his identity and his son's identity and is making them look like thieves. My phone's dinging. Let's see if that's him. He's probably in here right now too, guys. Keep that in mind, because he doesn't he knows. Oh, well, here we go. We got something from him here. This is just under Tim Morgan. I totally get that it's hard for you to trust me, but if anyone is using my son's name or mine, we did not give permission, and it's 100% identity fraud. Since leaving the community over 2 years ago, I've been working on being a good person and not getting anything in life for free. That's the God's honest truth. Feel free to message me here anytime. I searched Officer of Knives and nothing came up. Well, it's because it's Officer of Knives, but you know that, you fucking piece of shit. Not sure if it's a private account or what, but I can't see it. If you can find out what was said or sold or whatever to this person, please let me know, because I would like to try to help them get their money back or their product. Maybe I can make up for a little for what you all did for me. Now, see, 5 minutes ago on the phone, it was what you all did to me. I made up all these vicious lies and ran him out of the community. So there you have it. But I'm sure he's in here right now. If he knows about my mental health struggles, that tells you that he's been around, since he supposedly left the community, since I ran him off. Steve, we're having a little conversation because Monster Racing 38 has come back as Officer in NAFS, backed up to his same shit, poor mouthing people, getting them to give him stuff. And now he's even graduated to wire fraud. He's selling people things that he either don't have or has no intentions of shipping. He's even sold the same knives to multiple people. And Steve, this is the funny part. This is what's hilarious. He gave somebody a phone number, and I called it, and it's him. Fucking Tim Morgan actually answered the phone. And he answered the phone and didn't deny that he was Tim Morgan, Monster Racing 38, but he denied that it's him scamming these folks. And I was like, but Tim, this is the phone number the scammer gave. He's like, I don't know how they got this number. This has been my number for years. So it was fucking hilarious, dude. I wish you'd been there. I called that dude everything but a decent human being, and he wouldn't hang up. His son's standing there yelling at him, telling him to hang up the phone. But he hung in there for it, man. He took it, denied everything completely. It was hilarious stuff, man. This dude, he's brazen. I'll give him that. Like I said, I would have walked away from it feeling better, feeling more like I was dealing with a fucking savage if it had just been like, yeah, man, I did it. I'm going to continue to do it, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, because that's the truth. There's really nothing we can do, guys. We can contact the FBI, I guess, try to get a wire fraud case going, I guess, but it's going to be tough, man. First of all, they got way bigger fish to fry than Tim Morgan up there in Wisconsin that's taking advantage of people's kindness. But I doubt very seriously that they do anything about it. I don't know if that's technically impersonating a police officer or just telling someone you're a cop. I think you may have to. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that you have to do that. There has to be a particular outcome. There has to be a particular intention. So I'm not sure there, but yeah. Well, John, he has changed addresses. He's not in Green Bay anymore. He's about 30 minutes outside of Green Bay. Let's see here. I even thanked him for giving me a reason to live there for a little while, guys, because it was kind of my goal in life to chase this dude down and run him off. And I kind of dropped the ball on that. I kind of let it go. I knew all along he was there. He was in the background. He was still up to his old antics, but yeah. Byron, I don't know, man. I guess that could be possible. Byron saying, sure, his son isn't the culprit on this, and dad trying to cover. I mean, it's entirely possible that a piece of shit raised another piece of shit. I even told him at one time that I hope his son found a role model, somebody in life to teach him how to be a real man, because his dad was so poor at it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it technically it could be Austin doing it with his dad doesn't know. That is a possibility. But I highly doubt it. I mean, they're probably, I'm sure they're in this together. They got together to make that video of them drawing the winner from his GoFundMe giveaway. You remember he said if he reached his goal on GoFundMe of like $2,000, that he would do a giveaway of all of products that were donated to him by kind members of our community. And he had his son draw the winner, and the winner was Tri-State EDC, and of course Tri-State never received anything. So they're probably in this together. I've got that video somewhere of them doing the drawing, and everybody was under the impression that his son was 7, 8, 9 years old. He's a grown-ass man. He was 18 years old, I think, in the video. So he's and I even mentioned that to Tim today. I was like, he's at least 20 now, right? And he's like, yes, he's a grown man. He's like, and I've never told anybody any different. So yeah, there's that. But One Moon, I'm not financially capable of driving to Wisconsin, and the issue here is, though, you don't really have to be afraid of the legal repercussions, because if you watch Code Blue Cam, this is not a promotion for them, but trust me, guys, follow Code Blue Cam, because Code Blue Cam is a dash cam, body cam type YouTube channel out of the Wisconsin, the Kenosha area, and you'll understand the type of people that you're dealing with, because they're everybody that they pull over up there are fucking degenerates. And I kept thinking to myself, why are there so many of these type of people in this one area that this little channel that is blowing up on the internet can capture so much of this footage? But you learn very, very quickly why. If you watch to the end of the video, they always show what they were charged with. And And dude, these people are getting, caught with fentanyl. They're fighting with their cops. They're biting them. They're spitting on them. They're screaming, cuss words at them, which is legal. The screaming cuss words at them part. But then in the end, it shows that they were arrested and released the next day on a $500 bond. The problem is that the judicial system up there is failing the good people that live there, because these people, there are no repercussions to their wrongdoings, and that is happening all over the country. Um, I was talking recently to police officers from here in my hometown, finding out that it's happening here. I'm not seeing it because we don't have code blue cam in my area. So Zachariah, the address is there, dude. I'm not telling you to do anything with it, man. I would never recommend somebody commit violence or somebody get themselves in trouble. But yeah, it just is what it is. The best thing we can do here, guys, is learn from this. We have to take care of the newbies in the knife world. I feel like at this point, it's any popular YouTubers' responsibility at this point to periodically remind the community of safe knife buying practices, and remind people that that this kind of stuff goes on, because that's what Tim thrives on. See, he'll wait a couple of weeks. He'll create a new account. He'll get in the live streams. He'll start chatting. He'll start making friends. He knows the timeline that's going to take for you guys to forget that this shit happens. And when he feels like the time's right, he'll spring his trap and start collecting money from all you guys, and the vicious cycle it repeats itself over and over. That's why I said that. I really feel like anybody with a popular channel and any influence at all, I'm asking personally, if you would, kind of start reminding folks periodically that this kind of stuff goes on, and maybe teaching people safe practices of how to buy stuff. Guys, we've got plenty of services now like knife sale, where we can safely buy products from people that we don't know. But this sob story, I got to move this right now. It's got to stop. I even had to do that recently. I'll share some of that story. I had a medical expense. It wasn't life threatening. It was quality of life improving. I had a medical expense that I didn't have the money for, so I sold a knife that I didn't want to have to sell necessarily. I reached out to a couple of people that I knew in the community and that knew me, and one of them bought the knife, and I was very thankful for it. Just to show you how kind this community is, the other person I reached out to didn't want the knife, but wanted my PayPal in order to send me the money to help me out. I did not allow him to do that because all I needed was the amount that I was asking for. So there are situations where people do that. But guys, if you don't know them, if you're not 100% positive you're going to get what you're paying for, don't do it. Jay, we're talking about Monster Racing 38 / Officer of NAFs / Sharper Than Most / Tim Morgan from the greater Green Bay, Wisconsin area, who has been a plague on this community for years now. He's constantly scamming the community. He used to just give people sob stories to get free knives that he would turn around and sell. Say stuff like, that would be a great dream come true for my son to have that knife, and then sell it 2-3 days later, which is not illegal. It's just extremely shitty. But that's how he started out, and now he's actually committing wire fraud. He's showing people a stock picture, in other words, a picture he didn't take of a knife, and giving a sob story about how he needs to feed his kid, and people are cash apping him for the knife and never receiving it. So that's what's going on. So a lot of you guys know him. Many of you guys have had conversations with Officer and NAFs in the chats, and if you go back and you look at those conversations and you think about them, this guy is really good at what he does. You see how straight-faced he just sent me that message. I mean, he's still, he's upset now that his identity was stolen. Guys, there's no way in hell somebody came up with his son's name and address and his phone number. And this person lives in his hometown because that's where the products were mailed. You know, it's just mind blowing that people think they can get away with this kind of thing and laugh in our face. Well, not in our face, but laugh at us behind our backs, because that's what he's doing. I just want to remind you guys, this isn't over, guys. Sharp Thoughts. I'm sorry, Stevie. If Sharper Than Most is a channel, and I just made him out to be a bad person, I sincerely apologize, because that was just a brain fart on my part. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, let me put, because I think Sharper Than Most is a channel, or at least an entity in our community, and I didn't mean to badmouth that guy. Josh Sharper Than Most is Josh Branson, and I know Josh Branson. Yeah, sorry about that. Sharp Thoughts. Yeah. Josh is legit. Well, I screwed this up, didn't I? Stevie, thank you for correcting me on that. And I'm glad I caught that, because I wouldn't want people to think that he was the dude. So yeah, some of his names have been Monster Racing 38, Sharp Thoughts, Officer of NAFs, and Pucks for Fun too. Apparently that's the name that he uses in the hockey community to scam those guys. So Josh Branson, if you're in here, man, you know that was a mistake. I apologize. Me and that dude have had some very personal conversations. He's a good guy. He's legit. So yeah, Sharp Thoughts. Man, kind of wish this wasn't live now, so I could fix it. But I'm not set up to do my videos the way I used to, because, well, I just haven't done them in so long, and everything in my house is covered in drywall dust, and yeah. Anyway, but yeah, guys, that's all I've got. I didn't mean for this to run this long, but Officer and NAFs, definitely a thief. So stay away from that guy. But more importantly, he's already succeeded. He's already got money this time. I'm sure he's working a scam in a different community as we speak, and he will be back in ours, guys. You can't. It's just like a predator going to a pasture, and there's always a calf standing there. They will always come back. He will always come back. Every time he needs or wants money, he's going to come back here, because it takes zero effort for him to befriend you guys and eventually get your money. So, yeah. So I guess that's going to, let's see. How many of you guys were telling me that Josh Branson been scammed by? Yeah, Josh has been scammed by this guy. So, yeah. I guess I need to call old Josh, tell him what I just did if he's not in here. Let him know that I just called him out on the internet by accident. But yeah. That's hilarious. Sorry, guys. I'm going back looking at the chat, see how many of you guys are telling me I'm screwing up. But anyway, not Josh Branson, not Sharper Than Most, but Sharp Thoughts. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here. I know I'm not as big a part of this community as I used to be, but I still love you guys, and I don't want to see you taken advantage of. I don't want to see this guy win, but he's going to continue to, unless we get more frugal. Even the Facebook community, they require, some background check, before they do knives. And we've got to be a little more frugal about that type of thing. And that's the thing, is people are going to say, yeah, I know that guy. He's in the chat all the time. Well, that's Tim's MO. That's how he gets in. So anyway, I got to go. I got to call Josh Branson. But, you guys know I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. Protect your neck, man. Watch out for these people. Love y'all.